Hey, my name is Michael Gatewood. I'm working in Adobe Photoshop, and actually in this version I'm using 6. Everyone, I do want you to know that upgrading to the cloud is probably going to be a wise move for some of you that have older versions. And I have the cloud when I'm teaching on the road. I haven't upgraded the version on this computer, but definitely plan on it. One thing you need to know, though, if you're going to be doing an upgrade, is that you better have enough VRAM to be able to support 3D if that's something you want to do, and I need you to research that. But everyone, this exercise, I've got an image of trees, and what I'd like to do is I would like to go in there and show you how to be able to create lighting coming through the trees and kind of illuminating the forest. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm simply going to go into Windows, and let's go in here and get into our workspace, and let's go and reset this. I'm working in layers, and I have one layer, and that's the woods. Now what I'd like to do is darken a little bit the forest itself. So we're going to go into an adjustment layer, and if you look over here you can see exactly where I'm going with the adjustment layer. And then I'm going to go to curves. One of the things that I'd like to do is just darken things up a little bit. Now I'm going to go in here and minimize this and see that I have a mask. If I go Command or Control I, that'll invert the mask. And then what I'm thinking about doing is just simply going in here with a white paintbrush, and let's go in here and let's make this a little bigger. And what I want to do is I want to reveal it in the spots that would be, let's say, a little darker in the woods, like this. And this is going to help to give an idea of where the light source might be coming from. And I'm going to use the light source coming from the upper right hand corner for now. Now you can see that I've got an adjustment layer. Now what I'd like to do is add a new layer. Excuse me. This is what I'd like to do. I'd like to go in here with a paintbrush. Now working in different layers is going to allow me to also be able to create this in more of a blend mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to go in here with a hard round brush, fairly small, and I'm going to just drag it from our light source that's right over here. This is going to look like a 6-year-old did it, but I'm throwing this light source all the way from this upper right hand corner. Now what I'd like to do is simply go from normal in the blend mode to something like soft light, one of my favorite blend modes. Now this looks pretty fake, but what we want to do is we want to diffuse the light as if it's coming through the trees. And what we're going to do is simply go in here to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and we're going to blur it. Now you can see that I can change this, and if I hardly blur at all, it looks pretty fake. But as I keep diffusing the light, you're going to see that it's taking on more or less streaks of light. Now let's go in here. We can preview. That's probably about the amount of blur that I'd like to throw into this. I'm going to click OK. Then I'm going to turn off layer visibility of the light rays that we just created to see if it works the way I'd like it. Now what we have is a little darker and rays of light to kind of show light coming from the upper right hand corner just to create a more dramatic approach. Now we're not through with this. If we want, we can go back into the adjustment layer and really throw a much darker blend, or excuse me, curve adjustment. And now what we've done is we've really darkened this up just a little bit more, and we can see that now what we have is probably a little more drama. Now what I'm going to do is simply go back in here with the paintbrush. Now white reveals, black conceals, so let's go in here and maybe Bring our light source back in here a little bit more. Now we're going to go with a soft round on this brush. There we go. Well, not the brush I'm looking for. Let's go back up here and take a look at maybe this nice soft round. And we'll go in here and we'll make sure that we have a little more of the light source where we want it. We can hit the X key to go back to black, and maybe we still want to darken this area right in here and over here. And we see our light source, our rays of light, and a much darker forest, a little more contrast, in really drawing our eye towards a part of the trees and trying to create a little more drama in this image. Let's take a look at our original image by turning off layer visibility of the rays of light. We see our forest probably around 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. Then we create a much darker environment. Then we throw rays of light coming from our light source. We're creating a little more drama in this image. And what we're doing is taking an ordinary forest shot and trying to give it a little more of a contrast and a little more of a light source, and creating the kind of drama that we need in a landscape shot. This is Michael Gatewood. Take a look at subscribing to my channel, and also don't forget to like us. Thank you.